You don't ask for help, not because you don't need it, but because a part of you believes you shouldn't. You tell yourself you're fine, even when you're tired past the point of honesty. You'd rather struggle quietly than risk someone seeing how close you are to the edge. And when help does cross your mind, something inside you tightens and says, handle it yourself. If that feels uncomfortably accurate, this video is about why you feel that way and what it's been quietly costing you. There's a specific moment you know well. You're overwhelmed, you're behind, you're stretched thin. And yet, when someone asks, "Do you need help?" you hear yourself say, "No, I've got it." Not because it's true, but because asking feels heavier than carrying everything alone. You don't see yourself as someone who never needs support. You just believe you should be able to handle it. That needing help means you've failed some invisible test of strength. This pattern doesn't start with independence. It starts with adaptation. At some point, early or later, you learned that relying on others wasn't reliable. Maybe help came late. Maybe it came with conditions. Maybe it came with disappointment, guilt, or subtle judgment. So you adjusted, not consciously, not dramatically, quietly. Your nervous system learned something simple. Depending on myself is safer. Not easier, just safer. Think of it like carrying a heavy bag everywhere you go. At first, it's exhausting, but over time, your body adjusts, your muscles compensate, and eventually, putting the bag down feels unfamiliar. The idea of asking for help triggers a subtle alert. Not panic, just tension, a sense of exposure. Your brain associates asking with risk, rejection, inconvenience, weakness, or owing someone something. So it offers a solution that feels controlled. Do it alone. This isn't about pride, it's about self-protection. You learn to function without support, and that skill stuck, even when the situation changed. Over time, this pattern takes more than it gives. First, it takes rest. You rarely feel fully off duty. Even when things are calm, part of you stays braced, ready to handle the next problem alone. Then it takes closeness, because real closeness requires letting people see you struggle. And if you never let yourself need anything out loud, relationships stay functional, but slightly distant. It also takes confidence in a quiet way. You may appear capable, but inside, you're constantly proving yourself. You don't trust that support will show up, so you over-prepare, over-function, overextend. And slowly, it takes honesty with yourself. You minimize your own needs. You tell yourself it's not that bad. You postpone asking until the situation is critical, or until you're already burned out. The core fear beneath all of this is simple. If I need help, I might be too much, or not enough. This pattern doesn't announce itself. It blends in. It shows up at work when you're overwhelmed, but you don't delegate. You tell yourself it's faster if you do it yourself. You feel temporary relief, control, competence. But over time, you feel invisible and exhausted. It shows up in relationships when you're struggling emotionally, but you downplay it. You listen more than you speak. You support others easily, and when it's your turn, you hesitate, unsure how to ask without feeling exposed. It shows up when you're sick, tired, or mentally drained. You push through. You postpone rest. You convince yourself you'll slow down later, even though later never really comes. It shows up in decisions. You don't ask for advice, not because you don't value it, but because you don't want to depend on it. If it goes wrong, you want the responsibility to be yours alone. And it shows up in your inner dialogue. You're kinder to others than to yourself. You allow people grace for needing support, but not you. Each of these moments offers the same short-term relief: independence, control, safety. And each one quietly reinforces the belief that you're on your own. This pattern doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be understood. The way forward isn't about suddenly asking for everything you've been carrying alone. It's about small, honest shifts, the kind that don't feel dramatic, but slowly change how safe things feel inside you. It begins with noticing the moment you default to doing everything yourself, that familiar tightening, that quiet decision to not say anything. Instead of correcting it, just name it. I'm doing this to feel safe. No criticism, no pressure. Sometimes you can pause there, and sometimes you can try something slightly different. Not a full ask, not a big explanation, just a partial truth. I'm more overwhelmed than I look. I could use another perspective. I'm not sure I want to handle this alone. Choose someone low risk. Start small. Let the experience gently update what your nervous system expects. Over time, not all at once. You're not weak for needing help. You're human for learning how to survive without it. If this felt familiar, this video was made for you. Consider subscribing or sharing it with someone who carries more than they ever ask for.